and welcome to another installment of Objectively Biased. With me, your host, the Objective One, Steve Fogman. And today we're going to go over the AFC and the NFC West, and my predictions that are sure to piss people off. So without further ado, let's unveil. Alright, so let's get into it. First, the AFC West. And my prediction for last place. Yes, the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. Why? Well, very simple. Their offense, productivity sucked from the quarterback position last year. And they won the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen again. This defense is going to be stout. They're going to be solid. Listen, number one in defensive efficiency. However, they were ranked 18th in offensive efficiency. Worse yet, the running game was one of the 20 or 25th best running games in the league. So we're not talking about a very good, consistent running game there. And then we're going with mediocrity at the quarterback position again. Either Paxton Lynch or Mark Sanchez. Listen, I don't think the Denver Broncos are a bad team, but from an offensive perspective, I don't think they've got enough to support the defense this year, and I don't think the defense's shoulders is broad enough this season to carry them. 5-11, maybe 7-9, they're finishing in last place. Alright, next up, San Diego Chargers. This is a team that 6-10, maybe 8-8, but that's as far as they're going to be able to go. Realistically, their running game struggled. Melvin Gordon struggled last season. They really weren't able to get it off the ground, and it was one of the 5 worst running games in the NFL. Flip side, you got Phillip Rivers. Guy turned around, 29 touchdowns, 13 interceptions last season. Again, not really thrown to much. Now, it hurts them that they lost Ladarius Green at the tight end position. But listen, this is one of the better offenses in the NFL, and Phillip Rivers is one of the 6 best quarterbacks in the NFL. They're going to get productivity out of them, but their defensive struggles, unfortunately, are going to continue. 25th in defensive efficiency last season. I don't see any hopes of them moving up significantly. So, 3rd place for the Chargers in that division. And no playoffs. Sorry, San Diego. Alright, next up, the Oakland Raiders. Now, I know a lot of people think Oakland can win the division. I think they can too. This is a team that literally has made leaps in efficiency from an offensive standpoint over the course of the last 2 seasons. They went from 2014 being 30th to 20th in offensive efficiency. We've seen Derek Carr's progression, and he is looking good. Last season, 32 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. This guy is the coming of age of the new young quarterbacks that are going to take over the NFL over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. They've got an outstanding defense, 12th in defensive efficiency. I don't expect much of that to change at all. As a matter of fact, I think they could get better because this is a young team. So what's holding them back and holding me back from saying, hey, Oakland's going to win the division, hands down? Latavius Murray. This is a running game that was, well, non-existent. They struggled, 85 yards per game last season. They're going to need some serious production from Latavius Murray to ease some of the pressure off of Derek Carr. If Murray gets the production that I think he can get and is the running back that I believe he can be, well then I'm going to be wrong for picking the Chiefs to win the division because Oakland can win the division. I don't believe there's going to be a significant change with the running game. Therefore, I'm just going to roll with Oakland 8-8, possibly 9-7. Alright, now on to the Kansas City Chiefs. As I alluded to, talking about Oakland, I'm picking Kansas City to win the division. I believe this is a team that can go 10-6, 11-5. Let's face it, Andy Reid coached teams are extremely efficient during the regular season. Where they shit the bed is in the playoffs. I know, I'm an Eagles fan. But 2nd in defensive efficiency last season, 3rd in offensive efficiency last season. You're getting Jamal Charles back to go along with Charcandrick West and Spencer Ware. You've got Alex Smith, who is the epitome of consistency and efficiency when it comes to quarterbacking, and he works perfect in the Andy Reid offensive system. He's got Jeremy Maclin to get the ball to, Travis Kelce. There's no reason why Kansas City can't win this division. They've got the best team on both sides of the ball. So I'm taking the Chiefs outright to win the division. All right, now on to the NFC West. And in the NFC West, I'm going to start off with the Rams finishing in last place. Why the Rams? Well, the only statistic that is worth any mentioning that doesn't have anything to do with Todd Gurley's performance last season is their defense. It was 11th in efficiency last year. After that, they're a bowl of nuts. They suck, plain and simple. Todd Gurley is going to have to carry this team. They have no wide receiving core. They're relying on a rookie quarterback. And Jeff Fisher, well, I can't believe Jeff Fisher still has a job. He is the only coach in the NFL who has a losing record that people still celebrate. So the Rams, 4-12, maybe 5-11. I'm going to lean towards a possibility of 2-14 or 3-13, and they're dead last in the West. All right, my next pick is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. And the only reason I'm putting the 49ers ahead of the Rams, because their defense wasn't better than the Rams, and their offense struggled. It was very, choppy during the course of last season. Simply put, Chip Kelly. I think Chip Kelly is going to bring a charge to that offense. I think he's going to be able to get high loose in the running game, as well as get him going in the receiving game. And from a quarterback perspective, I don't think it matters whether it's going to be Blaine Gabbert or Colin Kaepernick. I think either one of those guys in his offensive system will flourish and will have good games. Problem is, they just void of talent. I think the 49ers are good for maybe 5 wins at best. Again, they could be 2-14 or 3-13, just like the Rams as well. So I'm going to go with San Francisco in third in that division. All right, now on to the Seattle Seahawks. And let me preface this. Seattle can't actually win this division. I'm taking Arizona and putting Seattle at second, but I also believe both these teams are going to make the playoffs this year. I think 10-6, 12-4 is realistic for this team. Why? Russell Wilson. He completes at a 68% clip last season, throws 34 touchdowns and 7 interceptions or 8 interceptions. I mean, he was dynamic throughout the course of the season, and he emerged as a pocket passing quarterback. I.e., why Seattle had the #1 efficient offense in the NFL last year. They had the 3rd ranked efficient defense in the NFL as well. Now, while I think the defense is going to decline a bit, I still have expectations for the offense. The one key struggle for this team on the offensive side of the ball is going to be that offensive line. Last year, they were in the bottom 3rd as far as offensive blocking for the run game. That's not going to change. They're still going to struggle. And Thomas Rawls is going to have to really play a big role and continue what he built last season prior to his injury in getting yards, not only on the ground, but through the air. Seattle, second, making the playoffs. And for first place in the division, the Arizona Cardinals. Again, this is a division that can go either way between them and Seattle. They can go 10-6. They can also go 12-4. I'm picking them to win the division. Simply put, let's forget Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald, John Brown, Michael Floyd. Let's talk about David Johnson. He started 5 games last season. 581 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. 457 receiving yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. 12 touchdowns. This guy blew up at the end of the season, especially when Chris Johnson went down. During the course of the season, you saw spurts of his explosiveness. Now this guy is going to be full-time at the running back position. Listen, this is Carson Palmer's last chance at a winner. Bruce Arians is a great head coach. Everything is going to ride or die on the productivity of David Johnson and I expect him to produce. Arizona, top 5 defensive efficiency as far as that defense was concerned. And again, that offense is extremely explosive. I see nothing less than a Super Bowl appearance for this team. Okay, now that I've wrapped that up and managed to piss a ton of fans off, let's jump to my objective thought. And my objective thought today is going to stem on, or harp on I should say, stupidity. And in this particular case, Ryan Lochte, swimmer for the Olympic national team. This guy he acted like a drunken fool and then created a story. I mean, you talk about a whopper. 6-year-olds can't come up with a better, more creative story than this guy did of getting robbed and being heroic, when all he was a drunk fool peeing on property and destroying it. I don't like the way the media has covered it. Predominantly white media. Emphasizing that, oh well, kids will be kids. Oh, we don't know the full details of it. He admitted he fabricated the entire freaking story. Yet we want to give this clown a pass. I don't know why we in this society are subjective to giving people passes for whatever reason. Race, privilege, the team they play for, the country they represent. But this has got to stop. Stupid is stupid. And this guy's stupid. And he deserves whatever punishment he gets. And for all of you out there advocating for some type of sympathy, this is the problem with society. We've become soft, pussified. We don't want to tell it like it is or tell it how it's gotta be. We want to sugarcoat shit. Hand out participation trophies and make people feel good about themselves. Facts are this: there are going to be people who are successful, there are going to be people who suck. There are going to be people who are good and smart and intelligent, and then you're going to have your dumbasses and your retards. Let's not be afraid to call a spade a spade. And Ryan Lochte, you're a retard. I hope you have to serve some type of sentence in a Brazilian prison. You got what you deserve. And with that, I close. Thank you for watching. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel Stephen Fogmeg. Follow me on Instagram at @s_Fogmeg and on Twitter at @sfogmeg. Thank you and enjoy.